Well, speaking of rewarding users and what we were talking about a little while ago, Jason, last week you brought up the idea of the app bubble, and then we kind of got into talking about the advertising bubble is a more apt analogy. Eric, I know you and I were talking, on IRC about the ad revenue and how you're actually monetizing Questlore too. Do you think mini games, I mean, the way that you have your guild buried deep in there, do you think that's something that would be useful for more of a mainstream enterprise? I mean, I love Questlore, obviously. I think it's a great game, but do you think that could be useful in a more common, and more the once and done kind of the Candy Crush-esque easier to enter into games, I should say, for lack of a better term.
I think
more accessibility.
I think doing paid is really good if you know your audience and the people that are going to buy it. It takes a while to ramp up people, but I think that another thing is that making your game sticky has a lot to do with it. Like getting a lot of people to see your free app is actually a great thing. Like Alpha Bear, my friend just released Alpha Bear recently, and Alpha Bear has a really great way of letting the player advertise your game for you. That's always huge, doing the social thing. Your game does it. I love your game.
You're too good to me, Eric. Thank you.
Segreta's awesome. Am I saying it right?
You are. That's it. It's Italian, so I'm not going to pretend like I know how to pronounce it either. But
look at that.
Exactly.
It's great. I think that I think that that's like really close to being able to be set up with that whole crossy road, front end on it. Like what if I want to take another character down there? Unlockable. I think that's I think that building a system like that is very doable.
I mean, it definitely is. Yeah, I definitely think it's super easy. I think Kevin was talking about how he's, simply tracking who's downloading, who's dying, and who's sharing on Facebook. I mean, that sharing on Facebook thing, I mean, that's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah, it is. It's huge.
I was talking about you the first week, Eric, and I was saying how you are the model for, like, indie dev at this point, because the way that you're accessing your users in Japan, where you have like a huge following for Questlord, like that is hard to do. And I was thinking, I think we were talking on IRC again. I was saying how I don't know, like it seems like Facebook is so ephemeral, right? It seems like Gossamer. If you share something on Facebook, it's like, oh, I shared it on Facebook and now bounce. I'm out to the next thing. I'm off to do whatever. It doesn't sound like that's the case, really. I'm obviously way off. Would you agree with that? When you're saying make your game more sticky, would you say Facebook is a good tool to do that?
Yeah, I do. I think when one thing about my Facebook that made it so sticky is a lot like he said. I Google tracked it basically by sending them to my website. Like the link for my Facebook, it's called The Guild, and it's for the people that play the game, who have gone to the instruction page, who've clicked that link, and then it pops up, and then they have the choice to like or not, which is a very, very organic way of getting a user. It's not a system of getting a user by paying to get users on Facebook. I mean, nothing will ruin your Facebook faster than hiring some service to go out and get you users, because those aren't even really users. Those are people in China that are just clicking. So building up your Facebook organically through your app, I think it's huge. And plus, you can reach those users by updating about your app. So I mean, like if I made an app, I think that the Facebook page is like really important for it, because that's just like a pure organic user that you're getting.
Are you feeling the same way, Kevin? Do you echo that sentiment?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Wonderful. Stephen, I wanted to ask you if I had wonderful. Good. Yes, absolutely. We agree. Stephen, if I were to say Militant was a AAA title, would I be right?
I wouldn't say AAA, but
would you?
Why are you?
That was off the cuff. You don't even need to answer that. Don't worry about it. I know the NDA is very restrictive. Your fines are high. We know about that. You don't need to go into detail. As far as using Facebook to kind of promote that game, is that kind of where your focus is? Are you looking at? Do you agree with Eric and Steve and Kevin when they're talking about mobilizing their Facebook audience, I guess, or people that are actually just coming upon your app, sharing it socially and things like that? Or do you have more of a? Do you feel like? Do you need to diversify your social experiment, so to speak?
Oh man, I'm out of my depth in this.
You're not the marketing guy?
I'm
Got it. You're back of house. Understood. Understood. So you're not going to be doing any town halls? You're not doing any AMAs on Reddit for Militant anytime soon?
I could learn tomorrow that we're doing one, but
Gotcha.
Eric,
With keyboards like Mozart in the basement, just typing it out. Understood.
Hey, I threw a link in the chat there for Questlord. Apparently, you can get some merchandise. Eric, can you talk a little bit about merch? You're still on mute there. He's telling us the secret of the universe, but he's on mute.
He probably
Maybe he
ran to
stepped
go
away.
grab a beer. I mean,
Yeah.
Eric actually has a really cool idea where he has an indie T-shirt website where like a bunch of different studios are posting their. Let me see if I can find it. Are posting their T-shirt designs and stuff like that for their actual games or their studio or whatever. Yeah. It's actually really cool, and he's trying to kind of pick that up as well. So I mean, I wasn't joking. Eric's got so many different angles for being a one-man shop. You know what I mean? Or I guess it's not the right thing to say because I know he has a couple artists around or whatever. But for the guy who does the front of house and back of house, I mean, he doesn't. He's got to do it all. He's got to wear a lot of hats. So
he's got a good following, right? He's all about community and stuff like that. So I mean,
amazing following.
Yeah. So if you go to the Questlord on Facebook, there's people making fan art for his stuff, right? I mean, and these are characters that he made up in his head. I mean, it's not.
Right. Now we're going to get back to the baby question. See, I think Eric is a baby guy. Eric's not giving away that baby.
Eric, are you back at the laptop, at the computer at the moment? Because I wanted to ask him a question.
Eric's the man of the hour.
But
Chris,
this is intellectual property, right? I mean, baby, yeah.
I knew he was getting a beer. I knew.
Hey, Eric, I think we're going to ask you a question, but I'm going to get in first because so it sounds like you've got a big audience in Japan. Did you localize your App Store listing? I imagine you probably have since it became big in Japan. Is that something that you lucked into, or did you make an effort to localize?
It's really strange because this is kind of weird, kind of old knowledge stuff, I've been playing games for a long time. I'm an old man. I'm like 40 years old, 43, not too old. But anyway, since I was 8 or 9, I've been playing the old Calibeth kind of games on the Atari and the Apple and stuff, and a lot of those early games were really loved in Japan, and because they brought something totally new. And then when I got into more of the older games and stuff like Eye of the Beholder, those were kind of more advanced, right? But in Japan, there's this weird group of course they're not weird, but it's unique group of people who like Western games. They like Western RPGs. They really do. And one thing they really can't stand is Western anime. You know what I'm saying? Well, they like it to a degree, but it's Americans love anime. We love anime, and that's great. I love anime too, But in Japan, what they really like is they really like American-style games. And you can do really good translating over there, as an American-style game. I got super lucky. I went on to, at first I went on to Fiverr. I couldn't really find anyone. But I met this gentleman who lives in the United Kingdom, and I got him on Elance. And I did this stuff through Elance. But I had to do that after Questlord because of being broke.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good.
Common problem.
I paid a pretty penny, and I got a good deal. I gave him about $1,000, maybe $1,200, and that was straight from earnings on Questlord. and which is a really good thing to do if you get some cash and stuff. And I'm gonna give you a big tip, and that really helped me out for the 2 years it's been since then. Because right now I'm kind of like doing the starving artist game developer thing, but I'm not really too worried because I got a fan base, and he's part of my group now, so he's actually going to be doing press releases for me in Japan.
Eric's got a street team.
Yeah, I got a street team, and I've got an artist, amazing artist from Thailand. He's fantastic, and a good thing about that is I can get back to more of the code side, which is going to be kind of important. Because when I finish Questlord 2, I got to redo Questlord 1. Because Questlord 1 is stuck behind the wall of Graphics 2. It's brutal. It's brutal. And a lot of that has to do with my reliance back then on sprite lock. Yeah, sprite lock has an interesting.
Oh, I know. And then Lanica sold, and you can't even download it anymore. If you don't have it on your machine, you're done. You're out of luck.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. Because not only that, I think it took the word sprite, the variable sprite, and used it. So it's so impossible to code. But I've rewritten the sprite system myself.
Yeah.
And it was just more work than I ever intended to ever do. But if it wasn't for sprite lock, there probably wouldn't have been a Questlord. Because it was real easy for me to find my graphics on the screen and then export them. And Questlord is just perfect for Corona because Questlord is a page flipper. There's no 3D stuff. It's just images in front of you, the page flip up and down.
Yeah.
And it's real easy to make that illusion look like crap, and it's real hard to polish it up so it looks kind of real.
No, Sprite Lock was a huge Sprite Lock saved me back when I worked on a job where I was given just a whole bunch of real big Flash animations, and I had to get them converted to sprite sheets, and it was just whatever happened to those guys after they were working on something. They had Cannon Cat, and then they were working on a follow-up, and I don't know if it was in Corona or not, but I haven't heard anything from them. They were nice guys when I communicated with them.
They're super nice guys. You got to follow them on Twitter. You really do. I think
I do. That's the crazy thing, but maybe I just have.
What is it? The School of Prestige, Wizards of Prestige. Wizards of Prestige.
You know what? If they have a Twitter account for that game, I don't think I follow that. I think I follow them. Their corporate or their company.
They'll be tweeting a lot about Wizards of Prestige. Wizards of Prestige was their free play game that they were going to make. Because after they made Cannon Cat, they wanted to make another free play game, and they got caught in that whole free play thing of you got 1 million downloads, but you didn't monetize right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just
annoying.
Has anybody ever seen that South Park episode where all of the YouTube video guys are ready to collect their YouTube bucks?
Right. Yeah, but Cannon Cat was a really great game.
Yeah.
And, yeah, those guys are really super sweet. And I believe in their work. They're really good guys. Maybe if Questlord 2 is doing well, I can contract them to help me work on the port. But right now, yeah, I'll focus on Questlord 1. It's really cool because I get to do a lot of stuff with those Eye of the Beholder type games, like the 2.5 3D, like, Legend of Grimrock, or, I don't know if you ever played Legend of Grimrock or Dungeon Master or any of those old games. There's a really big following for those games. But I get to take them in a little different direction and get to add more NPCs and more people and make them more worldly. There's a lot of things in Questlord 2 I'm doing that are fun, like trains. I got it now because in Questlord 1 you could get on a boat and go to a different place. In Questlord 2, a lot of people were like, well, it takes forever to walk from point A to point B. So I've developed like this little train system where you can go in a city, and if you pay enough coins, you just can show up in another city that's connected on the train rail. And just really fun stuff to make it, just really cool to do. Yeah, it's blast. And I can't wait to start showing the art. I think if you go to hashtag Questlord 2, we're starting to sneak some of it out. Because the last thing I want to do is show everyone everything as I go. I did that in the kind of the beginning, and it can be kind of stressful.
Now I'm looking up hashtag Questlord 2.
You seen all that stuff? That's yeah. But that's just a little attack. That's a little sneak attack. I'm not gonna go in with like tons of art and stuff like that. Because another thing I did that was kind of interesting, and I give there's a little teaser of it, and some of the people have gotten the teaser. I haven't shown my promotional art yet, except in Pixel Camera. And I think you said you downloaded Pixel Camera, McKeever?
Yes.
Cool. Well, yeah, if anybody down that, help a brother out and give a good review if you like it or think it's neat. I'm going to, I was talking, to Alex. What's that?
I was just saying the link is in the sidebar for everybody that needs to go to
Alex
right now.
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought maybe my crappy system was crapping the thing out. I was talking to Alex, speaking of sidebars, about putting in like some of his characters and stuff as stickers, and have sticker packs and stuff like that. So,
which I think is an amazing idea. I mean, cross promotion I think is huge. I saw a I post recently in the forum about somebody looking to like offer equity in their app or their studio or whatever in exchange for I guess development. I wasn't really all that clear on exactly what they were doing. I don't know if they were either, but it was an interesting concept just because it's like, well, yeah, that's definitely a great idea, but I mean, stocks are these days worth exactly what they're printed on. So once you start, actually cross promoting, I think we were talking about getting an app ring before last week, right, Charles?
Yeah.
Right. We need to feed Ed. We need to feed Ed.
Tongue in cheek. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I would like to have more apps in my collection for when Questlord 2 releases, because just putting up Pixel Camera as the only other app, I've noticed a good percentage, almost like 5 to 10% people just download just to check it out, just for like whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I'm almost. I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn the camera back on, but I'm almost where I want to like try to get like almost like a publishing deal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really sure why I want to do it, but like if I have a couple more apps in my catalog when Questlord 2 releases, they're gonna get clicks. And I don't know how easy it is. I heard it was a lot easier with Apple, to take your property and to transfer it to someone else. And this is just a crazy idea, where I like say you have a property and then I'll take it and it'll be my app, right? And then I can upload the thing and all the text and all that stuff, and then it can sit on my server, and then I can also give it back to you. I think Apple's made it that easy where you can grab something.
You can transfer them back and forth. I think we're talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've often wondered, like, that'd be pretty cool if I get some other rad app sitting with, Questlord 2. It's gonna move units, and it can stay there for a month. It'd almost be like a guest publisher kind of thing, like a guest spot. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think all the analytics, all of the downloads, all of that information, does that go with the transfer? I don't know that much about it.
I think all of it should. I think everything should. You know what I'm saying? But this has got to be done before. And I think that they made this process like super easy.
I think that would be like Walmart selling stuff in Target, as far as the big guys are concerned. You know what I mean? Like Zengia, whatever, and like large publishers probably would never do that because it's like, why would I bother? Like, obviously, I'm just gonna get as many clicks here as I am over there. I think the indies, lower tier, like you and I. You know what I mean? I definitely think that would be a positive move right there for sure. I never even thought about that. That's crazy. I wonder if that would work.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, and it's almost like with Lava Level with my company, we're just going to get an app update. I mean, a website update. As soon as we put on some more hats. But
well, YouTubers do it all the time, right? They collaborate and they cross promote. I mean, they're all after the same audience of eyeballs, but they know that two are better than one.
So Charles, exactly. Are you a YouTuber who codes, or are you a coder who YouTubes?
I'm a everything, and I don't do I do everything and none of it very well.